Okay, so I'm going to be talking about our game, Cerulean Moon, which you guys know already. So basically this is a game where you push the world with your finger. It's actually a platformer, but the thing is that by pushing the world around with your finger, you are guiding the main character from the top of the level to the bottom. So I made good progress on the game. I was in Stugan. I got caught up by some things, but first things first. Let me just show you a trailer. So this shows that this can be played on a touchscreen, on a PS4, and maybe on a Wii U controller as well. Okay, so what did I actually do here? I did a bunch of level design, which is difficult for me because I'm mostly a programmer. So making levels for platformers is a difficult thing, but if you don't have much to draw from, because this is a very unique platformer, then it becomes even harder. Thanks to a few of the mentors, I learned about pacing, I learned about creating anticipation for players. I learned about asset reuse, so you give more variety into the game than there actually is. Unfortunately, I had to redo the initial levels a couple of times and try to stitch them together in different ways. The tools, unfortunately, aren't very good for that particular purpose, but we'll get to that later. And I did a lot of playtesting at Gamescom.
Shit! Oh,
Did all those people play your game?
Not really. So I know that not everyone can go to Gamescom, but if you find yourself in a position to be there, this is actually very good for your game. It helps push the game further. It's a good measure of progress, and it's just if you're lucky enough for people to like your game, it shows you that you're in the right direction. So actual progress. I started with 3 levels. I wanted to make 10 or so. I'm not there. I'm kind of halfway through there. I'm kind of with 7 levels. One of them is on paper, which sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but there's actually a lot of work for me to do it on paper. So the bottleneck for me was the tools. Unity is not very good for tile-based level editing. I used 2D Toolkit, and that makes it better, but it's not quite there yet, I don't think. So I switched to using an external editor, which gives me a lot of freedom to maybe switch from 2D Toolkit to something else later on. So I didn't get a chance to work on as many levels as I wanted to, but I did spend some time working on the graphics. I'm not an artist, but this is what the game looked like when I got here, and I spent a weekend working on the shading. So you can see there's a big difference there. All these kind of flat areas are gone. The projector doesn't do a good job of showing this, but it also helps guide players. So I'm actually tying this into gameplay because players tend to go to the lighter areas. So that's really helpful in that way. And regarding the shading, let me just show you what that looks like in the actual game. So you see that it's a lot richer. It needs to be tweaked further, but the core is there. Here there's a big highlight because you're actually leaving this cave area to go outside. So it can actually simulate that. It doesn't do that automatically, but by placing light sources in different ways, it can simulate that sort of thing. you know, conversely, when there's some areas where you don't want players to go to, like this thing here, you can just block them out by having less light than, you know, in other places. And yeah, that's a good summary of the progress, I think. Yeah, thank you.